This reference grammar, which is my very contribution, is still ongoing, but I would like us to just note a few things, not in details, but that importantly, the output of this reference grammar became the input that gave rise to Nigerian received pronunciation. Nigerian received pronunciation is propounded and documented in UGORJI 2015 and UGORJI 2019. Well, another study demonstrated preference grammar in Korean English, that is Benjamin Oedede and Osewa 2023. This is the genesis of the theory. Professor Banjo propounded international intelligibility and social acceptance as the factors to consider in working out what Nigerian and standard Nigerian English should be like. Then what we did in preference grammar is to propose 6 parameters which are ranked and ordered in order to evaluate whatever input we are getting from the speech of Nigerians into a machine that will give us what the standard could be. So we have international acceptance, contrastiveness, frequency, disambiguity, phonetic simplicity, pedagogic convenience. We are not to be bothered with the details, the technical details of that, but I'll quickly show you how the ranking is done. All right, this is the mechanism. The 6 parameters are ranked in that order. International acceptance, higher than contrastiveness, and that is higher than frequency, and that is higher than disambiguity, and so on. And the ranking relations are shown there. The arrow pointing to the right refers to dominates. And this is how the relations are presented. International acceptance dominates contrastiveness, dominates frequency, and so on. Now, I quickly also remark the proposed mechanism of the preference grammar. This is the mechanism and the architecture sound. The input is anything that anybody speaks. And so if somebody says go, another person says oh, another person says whoa, they are all necessary input into this machine. And then but these parameters will evaluate them and now show the one that is preferred as standard. That's just to give you an example. So the 3 components are summed as shown 1, 2, and 3. The input component, the parameter set, the output component. This is a summary of the first input we had of this of Nigerian English. The model variety is shown in the first line, where you have model stroke allophone, and then the second line and developmental information, and then the lexical set shows keywords that those are associated with. For example, fleece will be different from kit, all right? Because the E and the I will differ, and so on and so forth. The vowel system is also shown. We might refer to UGORJI 2010 for it. Please note that this is just it, that the input of preference grammar, the output of preference grammar, just looked at, constitutes the input to the foundation of the Nigerian received pronunciation, christened and elegantly enunciated by Professor David Jowett, now of blessed memory. It is also that when we are dealing with language vitality, we deal across languages with that model or that theory. I will not have the time to expatiate it, but just look at one output of that theory is in respect to the dialect of Igbo spoken in Ishibiri. And then we had, by that dialect vitality, proposed how to deal with expressions that have no way of being written from the standard orthography. Then so we now say, in a word like Ado, and for 3, and Odu for 1, or Ibe, then you can use TT for them. A little thing. The glottal stop, which comes also frequently in that dialect in words like Ma'an, and Weda. But it seems as if we stretch this, we might be tracing the origin of the company speakers of English from our, don't I told you, or you heard. The voice pattern stop and all that. Now we'll consider just one consonant issue. Is the word honor. Do you hear it? Yes. Honor and oral will only differ by the nasality that occurs in the first one. So one is work, the other one is injured, and so on. So those differences must be calculated into the composition of the orthography system to make writing and literacy in those dialects and communities very, very possible. And call me to your village, I'll do it for you. Now, we have a lot of ongoing research, but we intend to just show this. Copying Englishes is what we have done for a long while, and we still have so much to do in this regard. We are trying to deal with the possibility of codifying not only national varieties, but local and regional varieties, and codifying the standards. If, for example, you want, we have, just as we've done for standard Nigerian English, we could decide to do for what may be called Yoruba English, or Hausa English, or whatever community we are interested in. We can always do that. Now, the preference grammar gives us facility to do these things quicker. Now, but we are moving from just the manual program to automating the preference grammar. The team is already at work in this. We have presented it in one engineering conference, and we are building up teams to make sure that when it is fully digitized, everybody, you don't need to be a philologist to be able to operate it, to use it, and get results. So this collaboration brings us to dictionary publishers, lexicographers, and of course, we want to be able to provide materials that when you look for a word and you see the pronunciation in American English, you see the pronunciation in British English, you'll also see the pronunciation in Nigerian English. Towards an Igbo pronouncing dictionary. So you will not say, how do they pronounce this word? You just click somewhere, the pronunciation comes for you. As I conclude, Mr. Vice Chancellor, there are 2 things that we can take from that. The world has linguistics as one of its resources that very much needs attention. One is we suggest that investments be made heavily in the development of linguistic resources, because that also sustains cultural resources, direct resources to conserve languages and their dialects, and of course the dialect communities. Build capacity for literacy and codification of dialects for the advantages of the computer revolution, which relies on codified languages, and for growth, industrialization, and global relevance. Now, if you did a quick count when I showed you the linguistic pyramid, you would have counted not less than 20 different units. Now, if you add to those units or subfields of linguistics, the languages like Igbo linguistics, Hausa linguistics, Yoruba linguistics, Edo linguistics, Esa linguistics, and so on, you'll have a huge space for linguistics to occupy. Consider also adding Pidgin, Creole, and Pidgin and Creole linguistics, media linguistics, linguistic geography, translatology, and all that. Now, any any faculty that is said to be large can never be larger than a faculty of linguistics. So I pray that we unbundle linguistics and give it this one faculty so that we have the capacity to impact and to grow. Now, if at this stage you feel like becoming a linguist, you have done well. I am delighted to appreciate my Vice Chancellor and the management for giving me the opportunity to present this inaugural lecture, the 333rd in the series. My dean is not an ordinary dean, he's a bishop dean. Professor Benson Osadolo, I acknowledge you, sir. I acknowledge the past dean, Professor Elsie Yuka, and distinguished professors and colleagues in the faculty, my head of department, Department of Linguistics, Professor M.S. We have enjoyed serious camaraderie in this department, and in the preparation of this lecture, Professor Igbo had my chaplain, the Venerable Benisi, and the team of priests seated here and making me feel very good. God bless you, so happy. I appreciate the national chairman and of the Scripture Union National Council, Dr. Willie Bono, and the secretary. I have not cited them, but I know they will soon be around if they are not already here. Before this thing, my time runs out, the fact is that I have no capacity to appreciate everyone that has impacted me in different ways all these years in my life. It cannot be contained here, but more is contained in the book that you have. Forgive me if your name is not directly mentioned. But if I don't mention my wife, where would I start? Children, divine favor there. Magnus is, is out there. And is a very bearded man. And the precious mercy is also there. Our two grandchildren will and we love you all and God bless you all. I want to appreciate everyone respectfully that you listen to me throughout this lecture. God bless you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Another round of applause for Professor UGORJI. You may be seated. Permits me to respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor to recap the lecture. The Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you, Professor UGORJI, for a very excellent delivery. Can we give him a round of applause? Distinguished gentlemen, ladies here present, we are great that Professor UGORJI has shown passion and understanding and knowledge of his discipline. So I congratulate him. Mine is to give a synopsis of what he has just delivered. Professor Christian UGORJI, once again, is Professor of Linguistics and English Language. He well published in reputable international, local, and national outlets. The lecture he has just delivered takes us on three main dimensions of his academic voyage, namely language description, language codification, and metalinguistic theorizing from the standpoint of language and community vitality and sustainability. The program in community linguistics. Language, according to Professor UGORJI, is the object of linguistic sciences. And the slogan, language is a little window through which to view the whole world, captures the universal tourism. The substance which drive the world's interest in language and linguistics is central to understanding the human being, the human behavior, the human mind, the human environment, the universe and systems managed by human beings, including machines and computers. Human language is nearly infinite in scope. Linguistic sciences is a confluence of social sciences, physical sciences, medicine, humanities, even law, which is my own discipline. The lecturer is primarily concerned with the phonological sciences and sociolinguistics, with special focus on dialect community. Because sociophonology guides research and investigates spoken language systems and directs such investigations to address social exigencies in language and dialect communities. Contribution to research and scholarship of Professor UGORJI are driven by pragmatic considerations, needs, issues, problems, solutions, exigencies associated with language and dialect communities and more. These are in two parts, namely linguistic descriptions and linguistic models. The contributions of Professor UGORJI in linguistic description include description of the phonology and definition of the standard preference model for English, of Nigerian English, syllable structure and tone in Igbo language and linguistics, and other studies beyond Igbo and English. Mention, of course, Robo, they will mention it too. The contributions in linguistic model include language vitality, socio-phonological model for orthographies, preference grammar, dominance, assignment schema, and the articulatory receptor approach, civil syntaxis, among others. Ongoing and future research, according to the professor, includes codifying Englishes, that is its own peculiar usage, Igbo dialectology, automating preference grammar, and Igbo pronouncing dictionary, amongst others. The world is to appreciate the truism that linguistics is a window through which to view the whole of humanity and human environment, and should invest on the development of linguistic resources. Moreover, compounding linguistics, into its own faculty, according to Prof, has become necessary for global impact relevance. As a matter of fact, I was just looking through Google, and I think Prof is quite correct, because if you look at the website, you discover that even at the University of Oxford, there's already this faculty called Faculty of Linguistics, Philology, and Phonetics. So let me once again congratulate Professor UGORJI for a very excellent delivery. I congratulate the family for producing such a gem. I welcome you once again, and wish you a very brilliant, very warm, very happy evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Vice Vice Chancellor. We have gradually come to the high point of this event, and it is the official declaration of the inaugural lecturer by the Vice Chancellor. And he's to be joined up stage by members of his immediate family. Please come up stage. Please keep clapping as they come up stage. As that is going on, I wish to recognize the presence of some distinguished personality in our midst. We have Professor Emeritus Raymond Elijah, sir, you're welcome. Professor Mrs. Victoria Moha, Professor Chimudu Ohanaka, Professor Venerable Mom Wandiani, Professor Sir Andrew Ugo, you are welcome, sir. Thank you for coming. Professor Ichini, Professor M.O. Katiri, you're welcome. Professor Constantine Lexemo Yuka, immediate past dean of the Faculty of Arts. You're welcome, sir. Professor Josephine Owolabi, Professor Ikiruka Ugu, Professor Mrs. Esoyo Moribe, Professor Mrs. Mary, Mrs. Moye, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. Professor Joseph Osemeka, Professor Gio Antedo, Professor Chibuzo Wongwala, Professor Iyabode Wambweze, Professor Felix Ogoana, Professor M.S. Ago, also, we have the chaplain of the All Saints Chapel, Venerable David Osaze Ebenis. You are welcome, sir. The former chaplain, All Saints Chapel, Venerable Eso Wako. You are welcome. Thank you for coming, sir. The very Reverend Dr. Olulade of the All Saints Chapel, Venerable Dr. Shola Ogbebo, Very Reverend Dan Okafo, Reverend Kano UK Uzo, Venerable Professor J.O. Oyeleji, the pastor, famous Gospel Church Enugu, Pastor F. Udechukwu, you are welcome. And to all who have made out time to honor this distinguished lecturer, I want to say thank you all for coming, and may the Lord lead you to your respective destination. Thank you so much for coming. We have come to the close of the ceremony. Thank you. as the Vice Chancellor's procession leaves the hall. Let's remain standing. Thank you.
Camera.